Quiet on the set.
Camera speed.
Sound production, take one.
Action!
It's Supergirl weekend, AKAPAD. I know all of you, and I hope a lot of you out there. We're going no introduction today. Let's just talk. You and me. It's cartoon time. It's animation time. That's what we get here on the weekends. I hope the conversation, the online media, the online hype, or like the de-hype, right? Like it's a de-escalation, but the excitement, or if there were any excitement, or if there was any excitement for Supergirl, I will say this: when she appeared in Superman, and we know, like at the time, we knew that they were going to take a different position with the character, that the Supergirl mythos, if you will, would have a different baseline. We can say it's party girl, we can say it's college co-ed girl, or just, we know her from Superman as a character that goes to a red sun to weaken herself so she can get drunk. That position of that character, it didn't carry on. It didn't take. This is also a big problem with Supergirl. Ever since her first introduction, I believe it was, 1959? Action Comics 252, created by Otto Binder and the great Kurt Swan, who is the greatest Superman artist of all time. That's who created Supergirl. And since then, media has tried to use Supergirl to pump life in the Superman franchise. It's such a weird thing where we've had long runs, just for example, of The Dark Knight, of Batman, with no Robin in sight. If you got 3 good Batman movies back to back to back, and we can all argue, we have 4, 5, 6, maybe like 6 straight Batman movies with like no Robin, including the DCEU stuff, even including the Justice League movies, Batman vs Superman, right? Like it's a long stretch, and the Dark Knight is a good enough character. He can stand on his own 2 feet. He doesn't need anything. Very much like Spider-Man. That's the real contrast there. We see time and time again, post 80s, since the 80s, to inject life in the Superman franchise. The well that they like to go to is Supergirl. And once we decide to do that, we had a little bit of a pause there. We sacrifice a lot once we decide to introduce a Supergirl character. Here's the amazing study of all of the interpretations, and I'm speaking throughout all of media. We even saw it recently with Flash. Flash had a pretty good solution. Going multiverse and having a different Kryptonian crash lane on Earth, and we were just going to take that version and put it in our Earth, and that's how you get Superman and Supergirl. Some of the solutions are very much there. Like DC Comics had a long run where Supergirl effectively was another alien that shapeshifted into Supergirl. And that's by Peter David. Really good run, great solutions. That was also this magnificent time in Superman history where Lex Luthor had long red hair. He was actually Lex Luthor 2, because the original Lex Luthor had died of cancer from wearing a Kryptonian ring. Isn't that fascinating? I love that era. Look into the Triangle era of Superman. So recently we discussed like the 1984 Supergirl movie, where her origin effectively is a chunk of Krypton that got stuck in a nether realm, a little bit of a membrane realm between dimensions, and they were able to exist. And she effectively gets blasted out of that, traces a magical like Omni Jewel to Earth, and she almost gets pulled to Earth. And at that point, it's Supergirl and Superman exists on Earth. But here we go. I hope that was a good setup. May 2, 1998. Little Girl Lost. Collectively, episodes 40 and 41 of Superman, the animated series, episodes 27 and 28 of season 2. This is how they wrap up season 2. Isn't that amazing? Right, like they're flying high. Warner Brothers Animation is flying high off of the unstoppable breakout success of Batman, the animated adventures, or Batman Gotham Knights, or Batman and Robin, or Batman the New Adventures, Batman the Animated Series. It's got so many different subtitles, but it's all in the same scope. It's all, like you would just come home from school some days and there would just be a Batman cartoon and a Superman cartoon, and you would get your syndicated WB, your Warner Brothers channel. It was a amazing time to be a fan. It really was. And what gets understated, underrepresented, underappreciated is, in my view, as time has marched on, and we recently discussed Clay of Feet by the Batman crew, Feet of Clay, which is the Clayface. The Clayface trailer dropped. There's a Clayface movie coming out from Warner Brothers. I decided to look at the episode arc of Feet of Clay, and I just realized, I'm like, this show is so freaking good. Batman gets all of this attention. It gave us Harley Quinn. It recontextualized Clayface, Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze, Heart of Ice is one of the greatest animated anything in the history of animation. And then we're supposed to just back away from this one. See, people will leapfrog this series and they will go right into Justice League Unlimited. Justice League Unlimited essentially is world's finest. It's Superman, Batman, and then like the rest of the DC universe, and it's so eloquently and perfectly folded in. The Batman in Justice League Unlimited is not the one from the original series. It's more of the Gotham Knights series Batman, which was the one with the red sky that had Batgirl and Robin, more of the Bat family, what was in that series. But let's land on this, because we get Evan Dorkin, Sarah Dyer, Paul Dini, Alan Burnett, Rick Fogel, Evan Dorkin, and Sarah Dyer. These are the story people behind Little Girl Lost. And in the opening minutes of episode 27, part 1 of this, we get a jaw-dropping scenario, something that you think would be stolen and repeated time and time again. And I will paint the picture for you. See, there's a lot of great design work in this series. And we get Superman in his white spacesuit with a red. The white and the red became a little bit of a motif in this. And it's going to come full circle. He's in his white space armor with the red chest. Yeah, with the red seal. And he's in this little, like, Flash Gordon space jet, space cruiser. And he's cruising around debris from Krypton and everything. This is magical. You gotta go watch this. It's on HBO Max. He's glowing green because that's the radiated core of Krypton. So he's shielded from the kryptonite. But he finds an outpost, something that was blown away, another planet associated with Krypton that got nuked when Krypton went, exploded. But he's just searching, and he finds Supergirl. He finds her in the lab, Everyone that she knows is dead. And when he enters the lab, we see that there's like this frozen baby doll. Again, like a uh, great symbolism there of a destroyed world. So he brings Kara back home. And who raises her? His parents. And she's younger. She's a little bit like a Robin, more aggressive. She doesn't quite understand the secret identity. And then she gets fascinated with Intergang. And then we get the way that Supergirl should be introduced. See, in the 2000s, DC brought back a proper like Kryptonian Supergirl after they killed off the alien shapeshifter. Yes, welcome to comics, where there was the city of Kandahar. It was a golden age concept that the modern age post crisis of Infinite Earths abandoned. But they bring it back, and Supergirl is one of these like shrunken down, because Kandahar is a shrunken down city, and it's in a way like the true leftover of the Superman civilization, or like the Kryptonian way of life. It really makes no sense. It's a golden age idea, but they throw into the modern age and they pull out Supergirl. But as they do in this, and I believe these 2 episodes create a template, Supergirl in these episodes, she's fascinated with Intergang, and she wants to help her somewhat surrogate big brother. See, there's no true relation between these 2 characters. It's just another Kryptonian that ended up on Earth, which is the way it should be. This becomes a Darkseid saga. This becomes a Darkseid story. We have the Furies. We have Grainy Goodness. The Furies are fantastic in this. When they first go up against each other, it's fantastic when they get Superman. Superman just beats everyone's ass. The Furies can't do nothing against him. Grainy Goodness can't do anything against him, but they still manage to capture Superman, bring him the dark side, and it's relatively up to Supergirl at this point, who has Dawn to cycle back to Superman's white astronaut armor. She has a white baby doll T-top with a red emblem, red shield, a mini skirt, white gloves, and it's the best design of a Supergirl we've ever gotten. Her and Jimmy Olsen have to rescue Superman from Darkseid. So Supergirl's origin in this is tied to the New Gods, all the Jack Kirby creations, and Darkseid. I think, right? I think that's fantastic. It just seems a little bit more storied, more thought out, a little within the context of the world, more believable, and that they're not cousins. They're not. There's no relation. There's the part of Ma and Pa Kent still in Supergirl. They are raising Supergirl. Another, sorry, AKAPADers. I knocked over some of the things on my desk. I was so passionately talking to you guys. But yeah, AKAPADers, Little Girl Lost, Season 2. At the very end, it's available right now on HBO Max. This is the best origin. This is the best path for the character. Tying Supergirl to Darkseid, and all of those characters, and Darkseid has plenty of female characters, and I will say, I think subconsciously there's a little bit of that connection. I honestly feel that. I feel that they, like, sometimes when you, like, for example, like if you introduce like a dog and the dog talks, you kind of want dog characters around that dog. You kind of, you need to see a little bit of like that, like that world kind of wrap itself around you. That's how I feel about this, where Supergirl, when she sets her powers, when she gets her uniform, she's set against the female Furies and Grainy Goodness from Darkseid. Girl attacks girls, all the girls fight. It's a little bit hot. But I just feel like that simile metaphor, again, it's a little bit of the subconscious complimenting itself and giving the viewer subconsciously what the viewer's already thinking. It's a really smart move. I think it's a perfect move. In all of Supergirl media, I haven't seen an introduction, origin, power set, and villain, or like something to do as ready and complete as these two episodes. There's a lot to learn. I don't know why this was ignored, because I think these two episodes is that it's what I would have adapted for the movie, not the party girl thing. But yeah, AK Powders, the first time Supergirl in animation is 1998. Think about that. Love you guys. Rock 'em.
Okay, that's a wrap.